Let's talk a little bit about where we are ratings wise. The handicap match that we just saw with Kane taking on Big Show and Undertaker hit a record setting 7.81 quarter hour
Whoa.
that made 5,938,000 homes.
That's big, man. That's fucking big.
Yeah, that's pretty big. The overrun here is going to be a 7.52. That's Rock against China and Mr. Ass. The overall rating for Raw is going to be a 7.11 and an 11.6 share. And it's pretty monster. Meanwhile, Nitro is going to peak for its main event. It's Hogan and Sting against Nash and Vicious. It's going to do a 4.08 final quarter hour. It's going to be head to head with a 6.58 for the beginning of the Rock's handicap match. It's pretty. I mean, listen, it's easy for us to say, oh, the WWF's kicking your ass. But my God, a 4.08? That's unbelievable.
And again, it's like a Mercedes Monet came out and she's celebrating, oh, Dynamite's going to surpass the number of episodes Nitro ever did. Like, who gives a shit, right? But it's like a goalpost, and a lot of fans are, a lot of AEW fans are like, I can't believe Dynamite's going to be around longer than Nitro. It's really, it's like a little kid, when you're around like a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, and they're just beginning to learn how to really communicate and try to manipulate and get what they want. And you have this little kid come to you, and they're so earnest. They're trying so hard to be so serious and tell you why they're trying to, that you should do what they want you to do and believe what they want you to believe. And they tell you this long, elaborate story, and they get into the whole facials and they really bring in the drama home. And then you realize they're just babbling. As earnest as they are and as passionate as they are, they're just babbling. And when you look at, especially Mercedes, she comes in with her reportedly, we don't know if it's true, $5 million plus a contract, one of the highest paid women wrestlers. And if you look at the 4 weeks rating for Dynamite prior to her arrival, and you look at her premiere episode, which by the way was less than the 4-week average that preceded her arrival, that should tell you something right off the bat. But then you look at how far they've dropped since she came on board. It's embarrassing. Those are the numbers that matter. If I was Mercedes Mone, I'd be terrified to put such a high price tag on myself, demand, and reportedly, we don't know if it's true or not. Maybe it's not true, but reportedly been given creative control. And then to exercise that creative control only to lose ground and lose audience in the process, that's a number that matters. Why are we talking about numbers? You must have brought it up, Conrad.
I brought it up about how they did a 4.08. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we're dunking on Nitro and saying, oh, the WWF kicked your ass, but it's still such a strong rating.
Yeah, and if you compare, take 1999, which, God, we admit it. I talk about it all the time, all the mistakes I made, all the bad choices I made, all the horrible shit. Okay, check those boxes. Look at WCW's last full year in business, 1999, arguably the shittiest year in WCW, especially under my control. And we still outperform the fuck out of current AEW. In terms of viewers, in terms of ticket sales, certainly merchandise, still outperformed and outperforming current AEW. It's pretty amazing.
I don't know why, but you saying the fuck made me laugh. Hey, we got a live studio audience here watching along with us here. This special episode of Monday Night Raw from July 26, 1999. One of those members of the live studio audience is Doug Ritter. And Doug's got a question. You and I are recording early on Wednesday morning. Normally we try to record on Thursday morning, but we're a day early for travel reasons this week. And tonight is a unique circumstance. AEW is going to be live with their Blood and Guts show from the Bridgestone Arena in downtown Nashville. They've been building to this show for a long time. And it's going to be head to head with a rare and very important presidential address. We're going to hear from Joe Biden. We don't talk about politics on this show, but my goodness, with him announcing that he is not going to seek the presidency, or re-election of the presidency, rather, there's going to be a lot of people watching that. And now AEW show is head to head with a major world event. Is there anything AEW can do for this, or do they just have to grin and bear it tonight?
There's nothing they can do about it. Just put on the best show you can put on, go about your business, and wait till next week. I mean, there's nothing creatively they could do. There's nothing promotionally that they're capable of doing this short of time span. So just roll with it, put out the best show you can and don't even pay attention to it.
We should mention we've got another question here from our live studio audience. Danielle wants to know, were you on board with expanding WCW internationally? Would you have brought up the idea, or was it more of a corporate proposition? We did see at different times when the WWF was sort of on their ass domestically, they just run more international shows where they may struggle to get a high school gym to run a live event in the Northeast. Boy, they could sell out arenas in Europe, especially over in the UK and Germany. And my goodness, they had a lot of success. Was that, how big of a priority was that for WCW?
It's very big. It was top three or four in terms of growth areas. Very, very important, particularly on the TV side. There was a lot of money being made in international television, which was relatively new. International television distribution, especially for Turner, for WCW, was a relatively new market. WWE had done a great job of exploiting that market way, way, way before WCW ever figured out that they should. But once we did, and the product got hotter, which makes it a lot easier, it became a big focus. And I think it represented the largest percentage potential growth of any other business unit within WCW International. Represented the biggest upside, I think.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.